buddy. There we go. I'm genius. It's okay. Welcome to the silent broadcast where no one says anything and the microphones don't work. So yeah. Super fun. Genius. Figured it out. Got it going. Hey, Eric. How's it going, buddy? Welcome to the show. Let's get you invited up here if you want. I got you invited. You can come up. You don't have to. Your call, buddy. This broadcast is what the title says, just unpacking the week. Kind of the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. What happened this week? How was the week going for you? How didn't it go? That sort of thing. Obviously, I'm having tech issues. I think this is a user problem between the seat and the keyboard, not really the tech. So it's a me problem. Got it fixed, though. Got it fixed. So what happened in my week? This last week I was in was my first week in my new position at work. So the position, arguably was easier than the previous position I had. It's almost like I went through the trial and the hardships and now I've got the easier job. But part of me took the expectation levels of the old position to this new one. And so now I'm looking at it like, holy jeez, I can't screw it up. Oh my God. So yeah, that's been my week. Stressed out with that. Hey, Eric, buddy. Welcome.
How's it going, John? I'll stay for a little bit. I got to broadcast at 8, but I thought I'd come in and say hello.
Hey.
My brother in Saskatchewan.
That's right. Where the beach is, clearly landlocked. No, I'm not kidding. Landlocked, but we got a beach.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, we gotta see what other kind of fun stuff can I put up here on the background. I don't even know. Let me start up. Take a look at this. Linking video. Why is this linking video?
So do you use the same thing as Colin, the vMix, with your OBS, or are you just using straight up OBS?
I'll use OBS. Colin was using vMix before, and then I introduced Colin to OBS, and now he's using OBS.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Hey, Helga from Amsterdam. How you doing? We got Gary Price says,
Gary.
Can't tell how many are on anymore since the updates. That's okay. There's not many on anyway. It's just, it's right now just me and Eric. Hello. And then Vera Van Leeuwen. Hello from Eldenhoven. There we go. If I could read today. I don't have my glasses. If you guys can tell, I don't have glasses. They went back to the store to be fixed. Something wrong with the lenses. So welcome to the low resolution, low D channel. Everybody's in low res. So, Mr. Eric, how was your week, buddy?
It's been pretty good. Got a little bit of work done, as I was talking about earlier when Martin asked what we're doing next week. Currently taking my daughter's old room, emptying it out, taking things from another room, and converting that room into an art/podcast room, so I don't have to set up these lights and cameras every time I go live.
Right. Yeah, I set up my lights and then I just string up the curtain.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, it's just a curtain. It's just a curtain.
So you just got like a green curtain? You didn't actually buy like a green screen, like?
Well, no, it's like a screen. It's like a photographer's screen. I just strung it up as a curtain instead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and see, now I can just play with the fabric of reality kind of thing.
Hello, Edward.
It's good times. Hello, Edward from Los Angeles. How you doing, brother? So, yeah, my week. Yeah, all I did, I like started that new position at work, and I kind of went into this easier position with the expectations from my harder position. So I've just been having a higher stress level and higher expectations than what was necessary, and putting myself through a higher level of stress than I actually needed to, which I'm sure nobody could identify with. I'm sure no one. So yeah,
It's a constant we always are adjusting to, I suppose.
that's right. That's right. So yeah, that's been the whole week. I mean, pretty simple week. I haven't really done too much. I haven't really worked on my book like I should have worked on the book. I just haven't. Be honest, I haven't done anything on it. Like,
Hello, John and Eric. It's the best day of my life. Thanks for the shout out. Oh yeah, every day is a new day, new
that's
adventure.
right. That's right.
So the new position, it's a little bit easier, you said, than the old
Yeah,
position.
yeah. Well, the people I deal with are a little bit more relaxing. It's not so high paced, fast paced, and high stress kind of thing. It's more the pace is a little bit slower. The people are a little bit more relaxed. They're not as angry, and you know what I mean. Like I won't say angry, maybe impatient, maybe.
Yeah, because they've gotten frustrated and they've
Yeah,
reached their limit, and then they get a hold of you, and they're like,
right,
meltdown.
right. And they're like, "Hi, rage." Yeah, this thing is just showing me linking video. Can you guys see the streamcast? Anybody in the comments? Can you guys see this?
Yeah,
The
that's all I'm seeing is the Lincoln video too.
video is frozen. Sound is fine. Huh. Let's do this. Let me boom 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 connecting. Looks like it's going to be a hapsy kind of day. I'm tweaking around with the settings, folks. I don't really know. I don't know what's going on.
I had this happen last week, and I used the. Let me look on the thing. Well, I can't because I'm not. It's not my broadcast. I went to settings, and I went all the way down to. I think it was. You've got two, like restart server or restart graphics. It was the bottom one of the two. I don't remember which
Oh,
one's
there
the
it
bottom.
goes. I think.
Yes, you got it on my
Nope,
end.
nope. It's like it's trying to catch up.
Looks good over here. Well, yeah.
There's a little bit of a lag.
There's quite a bit of a lag. Yeah.
That's super weird.
And it's like a 10
Hey,
second
Mr.
lag.
Edward. Good to see you, my friend. How are you, sir?
Oh, it's the best day of my life. How are you?
Always good. Always good. On this side of the ground, I'm good.
Yeah. Well, both sides of the ground, you'd be good.
That's right. Well, yeah, you're not wrong about that. At least this side, I know the difference.
Yeah, well, the other side, you will know the difference too. It's our reality. Hello, Eric. How are you?
I'm doing good. Good to see you, Edward.
Good to see you. Appreciate you coming into the broadcast yesterday while I was at the National Cemetery.
Oh, that was an amazing adventure.
Yeah, I did another one today. I went to Miramar today.
Okay, I'll have to go back and check that one out.
Yeah.
There's a shark behind me. What? Sorry.
No problem, John. No, I went through and showed all five branches of the military. Also played all of the military songs.
Oh, nice.
Then we saluted them for this beautiful Friday, for all they've done, so that we can actually celebrate freedom.
Nice.
I am a grateful American, someone who loves being patriotic.
Nice. Yeah, I was talking with a friend of mine the other day, and I said to them like, well, in life these days, you should be thanking, if not your parents and everything, you should be thanking two kind of people. One, you should thank a veteran for your freedoms, and the other one, you should thank a teacher for your way of life.
Say that second one.
The second one, you should thank a teacher for your way of life, because no
Oh,
industry,
okay.
there's no profession, there's no government, there's no job, there's nothing. There is nothing that exists without there first having been someone to teach you how to do it.
Okay. Well,
You
now
know,
I always, just my understanding and what I've been taught is that most of the lessons that we learn in life are actually learned the first 5 years of our existence. And that's really going to be with our parents. All the other things that's supposed to happen, teachers supposed to refine our fire, not to define our fire. So teachers actually supposed to teach how to be critical thinkers and not indoctrinate us.
right. And there's a lot out there that do. There's a lot of them out there that do. But I guess my point is that, I mean, there's no profession, no industry, no person where they are without, having been there by the teacher. And I guess I would have to kind of conflict a little bit with the concept that you learn everything you're going to learn by the time you're 5 years old, and then the teachers help you refine things. I didn't learn how to be like no one learned how to be a lawyer by the time they were 5. You know what I mean?
Well, see, I think you got two different things. I think you talk about profession or what someone does to make a living, but not who they are. So there's a major difference when I talk about learning your principles, your values, your morals, and your integrity. See, someone could have a degree but have no temperature.
Right. And those things, you can also learn those things throughout your life too. If you knew me, 15 years ago, you'd be like, well, I don't really want to hang out with this guy. This guy is a complete asshole. Right? Like, not true to these days though. Total different personality. I went from a type A personality to a type B personality, then back to I started with a type B, went to type A, then back to type B, and then I'm just all over the place. And now I'm just a mellow kind of guy.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Well, Eric didn't fall for it. That's
so
what it was.
What would you say to the teacher? Can you hear me, John?
What'd you say, sir?
I said, so what would you say is the best teacher for you?
Life experience. Because when I was a kid, I knew everything. But then when I got older and I figured out how to actually think for myself, I figured out I knew nothing. So I think the experience of life is what taught me everything. Like in the hardships. What was it? I was reading something last week sometime, and the thing on it said that that a wise person learns from situations and people and lessons and books and whatever else, right? They learn from every avenue that they can, every source that they can. A smart person learns from lessons. That like whatever the lesson is, they'll learn from that lesson. And then a dumb person knows everything. I thought, oh my gosh, I like that.
And Eric, what would you say is the best teacher for you?
I would probably say the experiences in life composed with the spirit of nature, like knowing that like when you meet someone, they come into your field you're meeting them for a reason, and if you can really
Infinite.
calm
Right.
yourself in the storm and not react,
Here's a
then
golden
you could possibly learn a great deal from those experiences. But you have to kind of be in touch with that higher aspect, if you will, to be able to do that.
Okay.
And hey,
John, who just
Colin,
joined?
welcome,
Hey, how's it
welcome to the broadcast, Colin. We can't see you,
Oh,
but welcome, buddy.
I'll be there. Oh, how's it going? What are we doing? Unpacking the week. Of course we are.
Colin. Wow.
Mr. Edward,
Long
how are you?
time, John. I got to
What did I
go and
do,
look
Colin?
at
What did I
Facebook.
do? What did I do, Colin?
I got somebody calling me on Facebook. I got to go see who this is.
Yeah,
Just say, hey.
I'm good, thank you, Edward. Very good.
No, I said, what did I do, Colin?
What did you do
Yes, what did I do
in relation to
be graced with your presence?
Oh, it's Mr. Nate Reed.
I don't know. The feeling's mutual. The feeling is mutual. It's just good to be here. I was supposed to be here a little while ago, but I got caught up, and I was going to wait for the broadcast to finish. I was waiting for a pause in the audio there, waiting for the guy to say, "Okay, so concludes chapter 4." And then my broadcast just died, connection lost. So I sat there like a turnip for all that time waiting for a nice, polite, discreet end to the broadcast, and it didn't happen. It just all came crashing down. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But I'm still optimistic.
Yeah, it is.
I'm still optimistic.
It is what it is.
It is.
Yeah, you can't be.
Couldn't be worse.
The best part, the best part of life, Colin. This is an experience. It's just technology. We all got to realize we used to have Morse code, man. We come a long way.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
I think sometimes we forgot that there used to be cassette players and 8 tracks and all kinds of other stuff. And I think sometimes we take for granted the beauty of the things that happen. And at no time in human history have we had more gadgets and access to stuff. And we, unfortunately, many people are the most unhappy.
Right.
Yeah. The more we have, the more we want, the more we get dissatisfied. I think we had this conversation a couple of weeks ago. It's like got to have faster. And we're at the point now where, we haven't got to wait for the food to cook on the stove. We put it in the microwave, and then we're saying, come on, give me the meal. You've only got to wait 2 minutes. Conversation. 2 minutes. Oh, feedback.
Yeah. Well, we have a saying, and the saying is, even the person with the most toys still dies.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Remarkably so. And the suit that we wear, the last suit that we ever wear, has got no pockets. So true. Eric, how are you?
Did I see Desiree down there in the comments?
Yes, but I think they're about to leave. Eric, sorry, I caught you a little bit too late there. I say I got tied up in my own broadcast, but thanks for stopping by.
No, that's fine. Like I said, I'm gonna have to jump off here, but it was great getting to see y'all earlier today and just now. Edward, have you a safe journey to where you're going next. John, thanks for having me up. Edward or Colin, always is good to see you, brother. Love you.
Yeah, it was good to see you again, buddy. Thanks for popping up and saying hey to us.
Eric, good seeing you. Thank you for gracing us with your presence, my friend.
Thank you, Edward, for gracing us with yours as well. Joy, I see you in the comments. Much love. All right, y'all. Talk to you soon.
Peace.
Yep, later, buddy.
Peace. Yeah, talk to you later. Peace and tranquility and love and understanding.
Oh, there's Des. I thought I saw you, Des. Much love, Des. I wanted to give you a shout out. I thought I did see you. Hello, Joy. Sorry, John. I'm just saying hello to people.
Goodbye, Eric. He was here.
Yeah, he was here, and then he's no longer here with us. He went off to go do his own broadcast. He's off to do bigger and grander broadcasts.
You're funny.
Onwards and upwards. Onwards and upwards.
Onwards and upwards.
To infinity and beyond.
So
That's what they say.
So, Colin, were you listening in when we were talking about what you think is the best teacher?
No, I wasn't. I was still trying to get out of my broadcast in a way that was a little bit smoother than it actually ended up. But I would say experience is a great teacher. I would say experience is a great teacher. I mean, a lot of people would say that intuition is a great teacher as well.
One of the things my mentor says, very wise person. He says experience is a teacher.
Yep.
He says, but what is the principal thing? Do you guys know what the principal thing is?
The thing where you go to the principal's office.
You know what the principal thing is?
Yeah. The principal thing could be approached from so many different directions. So you're going to have to give me a clue, Eric. Otherwise, I could probably give you a dozen different things. Give me a clue.
There's so many options there.
Say it again, Colin.
What do you think? That's what I'm saying. You know, you're going to have to give me a clue, Edward, because there's so many ways that we could approach this. So what do you see as the principal thing? Hello?
Of course, I would hit a dead spot.
What's happening? What's occurring? Can anybody hear me? Is my audio working? Edward, is your audio working? John's got no audio.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just quietly listening.
Okay.
I think Mr. Edwards in a dead spot for his mobile device.
Well, he's definitely in the right profession.
Yeah.
Yep. See, there it is. The ping and the robotic stuff. There it is. I like that background you got there, Colin.
Yes, it's interesting. It's interesting. It's inviting because we're doing Unpacking the Week. So I thought, we've got some bit of a TV thing going on with all the different aspects of life, and there's so many different ways when we're unpacking the week we can approach that, as in anything. Are we unpacking the spiritual side of the week? Are we unpacking the religious side of the week, our family side of the week, work side of the week?
Yeah,
so many different ways. Welcome back.
There's so many different ways. I kind of like doing this little broadcast because for anybody, I mean, so much can happen in a week, and then sometimes nothing happens in a week, and sometimes it's nice to just sometimes it's nice to just say, you know what, I had a hard week. Like I'm a positive, uplifting person, but man, I had a hard week, and I'd love to be able to talk with somebody about it. Here we are, folks.
Yeah.
Here, rubber. Here, meet the road.
Yeah. It's the comparison, though, isn't it? Because if we didn't have a hard week, we wouldn't be able to relate to what's a good week, an easy week, a comfortable week.
That's right.
We've got to have the rough with the smooth. I think it was, there's everything has an opposite. You can't have an up without a down, an in without an out, the back cover without the front cover. You can't have a hot without a cold. So you've got to have that comparison. So a bad week, theoretically, is going to make you appreciate the good weeks that little bit more.
Right. Yep. It's if it wasn't for the bad stuff, you would have forgotten to pay attention to the good stuff. You wouldn't have anything to compare it to. It would just be standard. It would just be normal. Things wouldn't be really good if you didn't have any really bads to compare it to.
Yeah. It's like if you had a really good week every single week, week in, week out, then it would just be mundane, wouldn't it? Because you wouldn't know that it was a good week.
So it looks like James is having a hard time with my background. It's making him dizzy.
Oh,
Here you go,
I
James.
can hear you now.
Here's a
Probably my
different
background,
background
is it?
for you, James. Here you go. There's a different background, James.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
You can hear me.
Yes,
I can
sir.
hear you guys now. I did.
You
Yeah.
can.
John, you were correct. I was
I hear you
in
now.
a dead spot. I was in a dead spot. So I did. Can you hear me, Colin?
Yeah. No.
Yes, I hear you.
Colin,
You did
can
drop
you hear
out. Oh, he's doing the Rick roll. Yes, I hear you
Okay.
loud and clear. You was about to tell us, Edward. You were
So-
about to tell us, my friend, what the principle was.
Yeah. Well,
You were
the
going to tell us the
principle
principle.
thing, it says the principal thing is, the principal thing is wisdom. Wisdom, and it says in all of your getting, get understanding, or in all of your getting, get comprehension. Get comprehension. So the three foundational words that my mentor talked about, first is knowledge, which is the gathering of facts. Any subject that
Yeah.
you need to gather all the facts about that subject. Then the next word he
Yeah.
talks about is understanding. And what that means is comprehend that understanding to the point where all the knowledge you got for a particular subject, you understand it. Then wisdom, which is the principal thing,
That makes
which is
sense.
the application of
Is
the
doing.
understanding in the knowledge you receive. You got it?
Exactly, because knowledge and wisdom, the knowing and doing is poles apart. Poles apart. You can know all the
Yes,
right
but
things to do, but not as in your terminology, apply them. But in my terminology,
Yes.
knowledge is knowing and wisdom is actually doing. Yeah. Oh, John's
Yeah,
background
now the
sending me
difference
dizzy now.
is,
Oh wow.
is that so Colin, could I know something
Yeah.
or be aware of something but not understand it? Huh?
See, this is like semantics, really, because I mean it depends on your definition of knowing. If you
Right.
know it, it's assumed under normal course of events that, I mean, if I know how to change an engine in a car, then I have to have understood it.
Right.
The knowledge actually says intrinsically that you understand it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be knowledge. It would just be, you'd have a rough idea. You wouldn't actually know how to do it. If that makes sense. It's all semantics, Edward. I mean, there's so many different ways that these words, knowledge, wisdom, can be interpreted. I think they said that knowledge is knowing that tomato is a fruit, and wisdom is not putting it in the trifle.
Right. It's like let's use your mechanics thing for example, Colin. Like, say I don't know how to fix whatever your car is, right? Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Say I don't know how to fix it, but maybe I'm mechanically inclined enough that I could just open the hood and I could spend enough time tinkering around with it, and then I could figure it out.
Oh yeah. I mean,
right? I may not have to, have a whole official thing. I may just be able to jump into it and figure it out. But I may not be able to. I might have to have someone else teach that to me.
I like that, John. I like that 100%. What I want to add to that, and to talk to Edward's analogy. I mean, what I'll do, I'll meet you halfway here and say, in my opinion, I can't be wrong. I've been wrong a lot of times. But in my opinion, I've been wrong 3 times this year already, John. And we're only in April.
Already?
It's crazy. 3 times. Can you believe it? 3 times.
I was wrong 3 times before noon
note,
on January 1st.
Let's look at the correlation between knowledge and understanding. I would have to say that knowledge is having the understanding, but you may not be physically able to use that knowledge. I mean, it's like, who's the guy in the wheelchair? Really intelligent guy. His name eludes me at the moment. Really intelligent.
Stephen Hawking?
Like hyper. That's the guy.
Hello, Joy.
He could know.
Hello, Joy.
How to change an engine. He could learn how to change an engine, but he wouldn't physically be able to do it.
Right.
He wouldn't be able to apply the knowledge. But he could bring somebody in and tell them what to do and how to do it. But I can see what you're saying, Edward. I mean, so we're saying that so you can have the knowledge, but not you can quite have a deep enough understanding. Is that where we're going with this?
Yeah, well, I think you're correct there. My thing is when you look at the word understanding, it goes to comprehension, and what I mean by comprehension, there's a scripture. There's a scripture that says, "Dwell with your wife according to understanding." Now, the day I got married, and she was no longer my bride, she became my wife. At that moment, I did not have complete understanding because this was the first time that we were living together. Over time, I gained understanding. Now, but I knew she was my wife. The day I married her, I knew that, but I did not have the understanding of how she is, and how she responds, and how she is in the morning, because I don't believe in living with someone unless there was my spouse. These are the kind of things that I had. So I came to understand, and even how she handled raising children and how she handled different things. So I came to understanding. So I know, like for me as a male, I know what it's like. I know that I'm a man. I know that. But do I know how to be a father? Do I know how to be a dad? Because see, being a father is a one-time act. Being a dad is a long time, a whole lifetime of making sure you come to understand. So for me, knowledge is the gathering of facts, but understanding is the comprehension of the knowledge you receive from the situation you find yourself in, and then wisdom. Like for me to talk to my wife, because my wife has opinions, and I have to go through and value her opinion, but at the same time, I have to understand where she's coming from before I'm understood.
Right. Okay. So yet again, I suppose it's because words are my passion. Right. When we show somebody some understanding, like you said, you had to develop yourself to the point where you got you had the bride, then you had the wife. So you had to show her some understanding. But in that context, we're really looking at understanding as showing some leeway, making allowances. This is the problem with words. This is the problem with words, and this is why Korzybski hit the nail on the head with his general semantics. You know how we define.
But he hit his finger instead of the nail.
I like that. But you see where I'm coming from, though. You see where I'm coming from, though.
Of course.
So many of these words have so many different application in various contexts, and when we try to put them in a specific sentence, and then we're trying to use like one definition of that word, and we talk about knowledge, we talk about understanding, and we talk about wisdom. I think the simplest way there is we don't always do what we know. This is from my perspective. We don't always do what we know. Therefore, knowledge is knowing, and wisdom is the application of that knowledge. And I think understanding is one of those. It falls in both camps. It's like it's like shares some common ground with both sides.
But I think
we'd have to understand why we need to play it. Go ahead, John.
I think there's more to it though than just understanding and knowledge and things like that. I think this again, it borrows back to one of the earlier points that we had already talked about in the broadcast today. Is kind of like your personality. You learned your personality when you're young, or you've changed your personality over your life based on your experiences, whatever. You learn your personality based on the environment you're grown up with, or based on need later, right, to fulfill a need. And I think I think a lot of this, like it borrows back to how you learn and how you process the information. And I love that you brought up you brought up marriage there, Edward. I love that because, and it's like an old buddy of mine, Mr. Nate Reed from Facebook. He's the one commenting here on Facebook. Good buddy of mine. How you doing, Nate? Hadn't seen you in years. Hope you're keeping well, buddy. And he even so rightly pointed out on here that misunderstandings lead to more arguments. Blah 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 blah. I think a lot of this borrows back to what expectations we have on each other, right? That
yes.
we expect
100%.
someone to understand. We expect someone to have the same kind of understanding or the same knowledge base or the same education, whatever it is, right? We expect the same results that we ourselves would probably produce, right? And I think that kind of I think that kind of gives the foundation for all of this, for how we understand and how we grow and how we interact with each other, right? And then when we fight, it's because you're not meeting the expectations I put on you.
Yeah, because I'm working from a different dictionary.
Right.
If you can look at that as an analogy, you've got like a definition of how this scenario is that scenario. I mean, just to tie this all back together, to stay on the same tack, but just to change gears a little bit, staying with the whole knowledge and wisdom. I mean, knowledge it's a noun, isn't it? But it's actually a generalization. It means knowing. So, I mean, the understanding part has to come into that because knowledge and knowing comes from Gnostic, which is where you get agnostic, or I don't know. It could be either way. So the knowledge, originally it was spelt with a G, G-N-O. But wisdom, when we say knowledge is knowing and wisdom is doing, we immediately have turned wisdom into a verb. When wisdom is still a generalization, meaning that you have the knowledge, you have the understanding. It's all semantics. That's the problem when we get into this whole personal development and giving people hints and tips.
But I think
how to go ahead.
Yeah, but Colin,
go on, Edward. Yeah, you're breaking. You're breaking, buddy.
Oh! I think he's hitting another one of those dead spots.
It's not. There has to be.
We're losing you. We're losing you, buddy.
There's words.
Yeah, it's cutting out for you there pretty bad there, buddy. I think, and I do kind of want to speak to this for everybody that's watching. So we have 97 viewers here. And by the way, thank you everyone that's coming to check by on this broadcast. You guys are awesome. It's not really an official broadcast. The official one is reminder is tomorrow for everybody. But I want to touch on something that maybe is kind of an undercurrent for what we're talking about. Is that it's almost teetering on what we would consider indoctrination, right? At this point, we're going back and forth and trying to categorize or define learning, understanding, wisdom, and things like that by what we believe it should be. Where I kind of like my contention here is that I feel like it should just be kind of an open thing for us to discuss. Say Colin sees it maybe one way, Edward sees it another way, I see it another way, but that doesn't necessarily mean that any one of the three of us is totally right and the other ones are totally wrong, right? Like there's fragments of truth in all of it.
Yeah, I think there's middle ground. I think there's middle ground there, and we're all pitching this middle ground. We just, like me and you do, John, we approach things from a different perspective, but we always find 100%. That middle ground. And I think that's what's happening here. You're saying one thing, I'm saying one thing, Edward's saying one thing, and we're all meeting in the middle. Edward, are you still there? We lost you for a while.
Copy invite link. I'm going to get you an invite link there. I'm going to put this into Facebook on the comments for you guys. It is a link that you can come join us here on HAPS, and you can. It's not what I want. Why is it doing that? Give me 1 second, folks. I'm trying to get this done for you here. Boom. Boom, copy.
Okay.
And we will. Goodness gracious, we'll get rid of this. I'm trying to put this up here in a comment for everybody on Facebook because we're getting so many Facebook people commenting. Oh, goodness. Why is it? I'm so sorry. It's not acting correctly here.
It's called technology, John.
Yeah.
Not playing the game.
Don't play with it, John.
Ah.
Leave it alone. Get rid of that. Oh, you got to be kidding me. See, the problem is that Facebook wants me to do some sort of at somebody when I'm trying to give this link, and it's just not working. So, folks, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a space in this so that I can comment. If you're going to join us here at HAPS and come get on the broadcast and talk with us, use that link and just take the space out of between the at and my name. And you'll be able to come up on HAPS and join us. Sorry about that, fellas. Guys, go ahead. Go ahead. I just wanted to get that out there for them. They were asking for help.
You're doing good. No problem. I'm just happy to be having a conversation with you and Colin. It's very nice.
I'm really enjoying it. I really am. I think this is great. I mean, I'm just thinking, just racking my brain. You always make me think, Edward. You always come into a broadcast and you cast these pearls of wisdom, and it's like my brain's going. Edward's here, get the pencil out, write down these little nuggets of information. Love it. Bless you. A wise man. A wise man.
Yeah, Colin, you give me like you said the words. I because people use the word semantics so differently. It's like John was saying, how we hear words. Right. I like to use words to say they're manifold. Words are manifold. So that means they can be used in different ways, different terms. Like if you go to the library, there's an underbridged dictionary, and you can have one word that has 14 usages throughout society. So for me, so I look at the word as manifold versus semantics because, people take the word semantics as if though you're trying to get over on them versus, us really having a discussion for clarity's sake.
Right. Oh, okay. And it's kind of like
no, I wasn't pitching it. I wasn't pitching it from there. I was just saying that. I mean, I'm agreeing with the whole manifold or manyfold as it would originally have been. But I want to say that I'm not using semantics as a stick to or a sword to wield. But what I want to say is that I think it's Korzybski said that when we define something, even a word, when we put a definition on it. Purely by making that definition, we're limiting that word, which is why we've got words there's so many different connotations, so many words in English that are spelled the same and pronounced different. You've got words that are spelled different and sound the same, and you can only understand them when you hear the overall context of them. So, definitely, words have so many different meanings depending on the context. I'm not
and
what makes the language so rich. I mean,
the same word changes by culture too, fellas. Don't forget that. Like, here in the United States, we call it aluminum, and in England they like to weirdy it up and call it aluminium and add an I in it.
Hang on a minute. Oh, let's not get into a pie throwing competition because at the end of the day, what language are we all speaking? It's English. Yes, maybe aluminium's right.
You guys are funny. That's hilarious.
I love this. I think to be honest, no matter what words we clothe our information in, whatever garb that we dress this information in, as long as somebody out there is listening and it gives them the inspiration to take that one further step forward, put one foot in front of the other. Mm-hmm. I think it doesn't matter who they hear it from, whether they hear it from Eric, whether they hear it from me, whether they hear it from John. We're all saying the same. We are all saying the same thing.
Right. And I think there's also the intent behind the words too. Like you have to measure that person's intent based on, who they've been. Like me and Colin just had this conversation. I think, what was it, earlier today, Colin? We had this conversation that, people will tell you who they think they are, and then they'll show you who they really are.
Who they really are. Yeah.
Right. So the trick is to surround yourself by people who will tell you who they think they are, and then they will show you the same person. Right. That's the real trick, I think.
Yeah. What I like about that is that in personal development, they'll tell you, you are not your behavior. Okay.
Right.
We are not necessarily our behavior, but hang on a minute. That's how people know who you are, by your behavior. That's how they recognize you. Everyone has a mask. So true in the comments there.
Absolutely. There's that Facebook.
It's cup of tea time, John. I'll be back in a second. It's got to be done.
Yeah, it's got to be done. British has got to have their tea. It's got to be done. Okay, and I'm trying to. I got two folks on Facebook. I got Frederick Jenny and Nate Reed. Awesome people trying to come join us here on HAPS so that maybe they can come up onto the broadcast with us and have some dialogue, unpack their week a little bit. But it doesn't seem to be working to set up on their phones, I guess. So if you guys have access to like a laptop or a computer or desktop of some kind, I would suggest to maybe try it. As an old friend of ours used to say, the proof is in the pudding. Yep. Even if it's a weird like custard flavor that nobody likes, it's in the pudding. So yeah. Anyway, how do I get this? Okay, yeah. I don't know how to get you guys. I don't know how to get you guys up on HAPS any better. So HAPS gives us an invite link to invite our friends, and that's what I did with that HAPS.tv invite thing. If you just open a browser on your device, you could just go to HAPS.tv and just make an account. You can just make an account and just set it up that way. You don't actually have to have anything crazy on it. If you just make the account, you can come join us and have a conversation with us, talk with us on the stream with us. So yeah, Mr. Edward, how's your little road trip going there, my good friend?
Oh, my road trip is going great. I'm probably 20 minutes away from home.
Well, there you go.
So I had to. Today I had two services because do you remember, John, what I do for a living?
Yes, sir. Yeah, you. Well, not to all the detailed extent, but yes, you run a company that deals with end of life services.
Yes. So I had two funerals today in San Diego. One at 10 a.m. laying a young man to rest, and then another one at 12 laying another person to rest. And we live streamed it through TributeCast, which we call our own TributeCast platform. It's called TributeCast. Mm-hmm. So I had to do that, and I also have a digital registry book, a virtual registry book, so people can actually sign the registry book from wherever they are.
Right.
So I had to be there to get those set up and greet the family and everything else. So that's what I was doing, and heading back towards my home here in California.
Nice. So the week went well for you, sir?
Oh, man, I unpacked the week beautifully, man. It was a beautiful week. The days were good. I have different words every day. I think Monday was courage. I think that was a very good word. Having the courage of getting out and doing something, standing up. And Tuesday, the word was risk. Risk. How far out on the branch are you willing to go? Got to get out on the branch. Most people like to stay most people like to stay next to the trunk. They don't want to get out on the branches,
Mhm.
but that's where the fruit really is. The fruit's really out on the branches. And then on Wednesday, the word of the day was structure. Structure.
Mhm.
Whatever you're doing, what structure do you have? Do you have a good foundation? Because if you don't have a good foundation, whatever structure you build on that foundation, it will not
Mhm.
stand the storms of life.
Right.
So that was structure on Wednesday. And then yesterday was diagnosis. Diagnosis. In the commentary that I had going on was in the hospital, there are different rooms in the hospital. Some rooms are regular rooms where they put a patient in a regular room. Then they have another room called the CCU,
Okay.
which is critical care unit. Critical care unit.
Right.
Then there's another room called the ICU, which is
Okay.
the intensive care unit. And the more severe you go, so I look at that and I always ask myself a question in life: what room am I in? Am I in the room where people can come and visit me, just a traditional patient room, or
Mhm.
am I in the critical care unit? Because I got to make sure I'm diagnosing my life properly, or
Right.
is my life in an area where it's in intensive care and I need specialized, services. I need
Mhm.
all the doctors and nurses and techs, all of them on hand, because I'm in
Right.
a place right now that I need the most help.
Right.
That right there was yesterday's word, diagnosis. But I
Nice.
used the illustration of the hospital, and today was the word patriotic. Bringing facts about how many people laid down their life.
Mhm.
So for me, I've been visiting the National Cemetery. Very grateful at this time of the year. The new month has changed. We went in from March going into April, and just being patriotic for a grateful nation and for all those who've gone before us, those who made the ultimate sacrifice, those who are currently serving here in the States, those on foreign soils on every continent. I just want to salute them today, and that's what I did. So that was my week. I unpacked it, and it was beautiful, and
Nice.
got to serve people and help people out. And I do that. I do that every week. I just pick up different words, the word of the day, and just go through the growth cycle of trying to learn
I
something
like
new.
words.
I try to learn something new every day, and so if I can learn 1% every day, I'm 365% better every year. Learning
Right.
new words, so my vocabulary is growing and getting bigger.
Nice.
And just looking at certain things in a way that gives me a lot
It's
more clarity.
expanding
So then I'm not
exponentially.
moved by all the emotional stuff that's going on the planet, because there's too much stuff that people are not solid in what they profess. They
Mhm.
profess certain things, but anything can shake them any moment because they don't have enough stability or what I call structure.
Right.
The structure is real deep. So that's what happened. So that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. My week,
So I hope I
I just
impacted my week for you pretty good.
my week was way less
I think
exciting than
so.
that.
I think it was a very good unpacking.
I just did the new position at work, and like I said, I said it
I'm
before.
sorry, Colin.
Oh, sorry. I think we got a lag
I was just
issue.
saying, I
What about
started
you?
talking at the same time as John did. We've got a lag. John, you go. I started talking
No,
at the
you
same
go,
time as John.
sir. You
Go
go.
ahead, John.
No, you go. Go ahead. I
Okay, I was
insist.
just going to say, yeah. I accept your insistence. Yay, Verdi, yay. Yes, this week. What happened this week? Unpacking my week. I had my first COVID injection. Astrophysics,
Astrological.
AstraZeneca. Yeah, it was something. It was something, and I mean, we talk about unpacking the week. The whole point of unpacking it is so we can deal with stuff, because so often we just sweep stuff under the carpet rather than reevaluating it. This is where I was going
Right.
with this. And somebody asked me about it the other day, and I said, this guy. I said, I sat down on the chair in this cubicle, and the nurse is sat to my right hand side, and she's asking me these questions. Have you had this? Have you been involved in part of the testing process? Blah blah blah.
Mhm.
And then I just happened to glance to the left, and this guy, he was like a ninja. He come running around the corner at like 60 miles an hour. He jumped up in the air. He got this spear in his hand, and he stabbed me straight in the arm before his feet even touched the ground. And then he twisted it round. He had this evil grin on his face. He enjoys the job too much. Some people would relate to it like that. You see what I'm saying? Whereas the guy, he came in, and he said, "Yep, okay, Colin, let's just roll your sleeve up. Yep, there you go." And he gave me the injection. But you see how easy it is to dress it up in a manner that is going to create a sense of discomfort, uneasiness in you. And this, I can mention this because I spent the whole day dreading going for that, because I don't do needles. Needles and me, they don't fit together in the same room. So that is actually how I felt. In my mind, that is how I was describing it.
Mm-hmm.
But the essence of it is, the guy, he was a really kind-hearted person. You know, he was a volunteer. He'd give people, thousands of people, the injection out of his own time. He was there because he cared about people. So as I left, even though I hated the fact that he just stuck me with this needle, I said, "Thank you very much. We appreciate the work that you're doing." Because courtesy costs nothing, does it? It costs absolutely nothing.
But actually, it does. It does cost you something. It costs you your ego.
Oh, we don't want to have this one up. Because if you've got a good ego, if your ego's one of the kind of people...
Okay, so it cost you the bad ego then.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Because let's be honest, folks. I mean, to be courteous to another person is to put your own self-interest aside and then just be good to that person just for the simple fact of being good to them. Like, you're not really expecting something in return. You're being nice to them. You're holding the door. You're not like, okay, well, I'm going to hold the door. You owe me $5, right? Like, you're just trying to be good to another person, right? That's putting your own negative kind of ego aside, just saying, here, let me help you instead of me.
Because we all have our own worth. I mean, we're all as different as snowflakes. We've all got different fingerprints. A wise man said.
I love it.
A wise man said that, and I wrote it down. Bless you.
I love it, Colin. I love it. You know, it's so beautiful, man. Hey, no, listen, he's telling the truth, man. It's just I really think that so many of us take for granted the uniqueness of each one of us. Mm-hmm. Just yourself. You know, I look at myself every day and I say that I know that God has a sense of humor because he created me. And I am so grateful he did. But I'm glad of his sense of humor.
Bless you.
Yep. And I think it's part of the
for knowing
I think it's actually like a great travesty in the world these days that everybody wants everybody to be all the same. Everybody wants to use the same words. They want to use, like, maybe you start going on the lights there, Colin.
This is what happens when you light the wrong end of your cigarettes. When you smoke tips.
That's what happens.
Good. It bursts into flames. Yeah.
But everybody wants everybody to be the same. Everybody says, "Oh, men and women are the same." They're not. You know, women are freaking awesome at some things, and that men suck at, and women are awesome at things that some women suck at. Like, the point is to be a partnership and be and have that uniqueness work together to accomplish something, right? The point isn't to be the same. Like, I don't want to be the same cutout carbon copy as Colin here. I don't want to be the same cutout copy as Edward either, right? Like, I want to be me, and I want that to work in unison and partnership with somebody else to accomplish something really cool, right? Like,
I like that. Yeah, I mean, we need to understand ourselves a lot better.
Yeah,
I think it was on the Arch of Apollo at Delphi. It said, "Know thyself, and the truth will set you free." I think that originally came from Plato. Probably. Know thyself.
But
appreciate
yourself.
That's where I'm going with this. Appreciate yourself.
that's the great travesty
John.
of I think 2020 and 2021 is everybody's trying to make everybody be exactly like everybody else. You can't be really good at something or prefer this thing over that thing because then you're excluding something, right?
Limiting. Yep.
Yeah, Oh, there he is. There's that. Look at that handsome mug. There he is. I like your bow tie, buddy. Bow ties are cool. I like bow ties.
I do too. It's a sign of I know how to dress up.
There it is. That's what it is. I should wear a bow tie with a t-shirt. Just to have the bow tie on and the t-shirt,
Yeah, that's a cute thing. But
now I'm concerned. Now I'm concerned. Go on, Edward.
Now you're concerned. Now I'm concerned.
Go ahead, Colin. You guys.
I was going to say I'm concerned because if Mr. Powell wears a bow tie with a t-shirt, you can put your life on it. That it's going to be one of those that rotates and goes bzzz, and it's going to have flashing lights.
It shoots out water.
You guys are funny. No, I appreciate I appreciate the differences that all three of us have. That that you appreciate it. Like yesterday when I went through downtown San Diego and all of the living animals and birds that in that area, the different types of birds and the different types of fish. And just knowing that there's so much variety in the uniqueness of each one of us, which what you said, John, is people want you to be like everybody else. Number one thing, I am this is my word. I use it constantly. I believe 1,000% in the sovereignty of the individual. I believe in the sovereignty of the individual. I believe that we have to allow people to truly be a full expression of the creation that they are.
Yeah.
And I think too many people try to put people in groups. I get a lot of pushback sometimes, and my wife says the same thing. Because when we go places, they want to put a label on you and say this, say that, and we say, whoa, hold up. You don't even know me. You've never met me. You haven't heard my word. And all you see is the house that I live in.
That's right.
That's it. That's right. But if you came to my physical house, and every house on my block is a different color too, are you going to make all the houses on my block all upset at each other?
Yep.
Come on, don't do that.
So true.
Let's look at each other and say, I see you, but I see you for the creation that you are, and I'm grateful. And I say, if you want to talk to me about race, I will tell you this. There's one race.
Yeah.
Your sperm, your sperm got to the egg first. So you won the race.
I like that.
Yeah. A lot of people.
That's the race I talk about.
A lot of people have said to me over the years, how the hell did your egg get there? How the hell did you reach that egg? How the hell did you reach that egg?
I like that you brought that up there, Mr. Edward. I like that because, like right now, that's a charged subject with people these days, and it affects a lot of people, in really not always the best of ways. If we're all being completely honest here, and
no structure.
Exactly.
And you know what? This is not.
I think, like, if I may speak personally,
this is not semantics, Colin.
If I may speak personally about this whole subject of the whole race thing, I think it's disgusting that we're in 2021 and it's still such a heavy focus, good or bad, on race, right? I like my neighbor. My neighbor's a really cool guy. I don't care what color his house is painted for me to like my neighbor. It's irrelevant what color his house is for me to like my neighbor. Right?
Well, what you just said, John, and I think this is important for all of us, and I say this, if you took out measurement, and Colin, I want you to give me the word measurement in your definition, since you are a wordsmith. Measurement to me.
That's your homework.
No. He knows it. He knows it. Because measurement means quantity or amount or degree of something.
Yep.
So when you and I look at how do I measure something, if you literally measure the rate of politics in one's life, it probably would not even come on the radar at all. It's very small. Right. The same thing with media. The media influence in people's life is so limited that why would you at any time try to make your life based on the media that you listen to? Oh. Now, if you cannot trust your own word, because your word should be the best word. If you can't trust your own word, why would you then trust the word of someone who's telling you, listen to the word, someone who's telling you their vision, which is called television. They're selling ratings. This is television telling you their vision.
Oh, I like that.
I already have my own vision for my own life. You cannot tell me your vision. That's your vision. So don't tell me your vision. I'm going to tell you my vision for my life, and this is it. I am free. I am me, and leave me alone.
Right. Leave me alone.
Mr. Edward, there's not a broadcast goes by where you don't say or do something that impresses me. And when you come out with a concept like that, like television and television, I'm thinking this gentleman has spent a lot of years crafting his skill. And you've perfected it, my friend. You've perfected it. I love it.
Well, Colin, I learned this is a proverb. Without a vision, people live without restraint. People, they perish without restraint. But that word in the Hebrew means they live without any restraint. They have no guardrails in their life. They just live their life just randomly and recklessly. But when I was young, and people would always ask me certain things, and my dad just said to them that's not part of your vision. So when they come to me and said, "Do you want to go drinking?" I used to tell them that's not part of my vision. Want to go do drugs? That's not part of my vision. When I was young, a girl would tell me, "Hey, we can go and have fun together, and I can give you some." And I said, "That's not part of my vision." I was taught by my father that I cannot touch another man's daughter. I can't touch another man's daughter because that's not my wife. And women at that time could not understand that I was taught to be a gentleman. So that's what I learned in life. So I had a vision. So Colin, for me, I learned that vision very, very young. So I've never got caught up in groupthink or got caught up in the races and all this other stuff because I clearly had a vision that I wanted to live life with some guardrails, some safeguards. I teach my children the same thing. You gotta follow the rules of the road. Okay. There's some place you just do not enter. For me, I don't enter those conversations because people are going to get my pushback because they're telling me their vision, and I'm gonna say, if you really want to shape your life by that vision, then you're missing out. Like this is what somebody said to me one day, Colin. They said to me, and John, they said to me this. They said to me this. I just want everything to be black only. And I said, really? I said, that's all you want? I said, so then you're missing out on 4/5 of all other beings that have the ability to communicate. Okay? Because there's only 5 Homo sapiens on the planet. 5. The red man, the white man, the yellow man, the brown man, and the black man. Only 5 Homo sapiens. That's it. No more. So for me, if I choose to only be part of one group, I'm missing out on the other 4/5 of all of the wonderful creation God made. And since my wife and I love to travel and I've been to 50 countries, why would I limit myself of not knowing the rest of the planet?
Right. And
it's inconceivable.
And I also take issue with the whole phrase.
It is inconceivable, Colin. It's so inconceivable. It's like crazy. I mean, why would I not think of other people? It's just crazy.
It is.
And I mean, I'm from the States. Yes, I live in Canada, but I'm from the States. And I've always taken issue with the commonly accepted phrase of like African American, Asian American, Mexican American, whatever, right?
Yeah, adjectives, man. That's all.
Yeah, and I've always taken issue with that. I'm like, you know what? When is when can we just say American? and just to hell with whatever definition, like just throw away the whole notion of, oh, they're this, they're that, they're this, that. They're just American. They're just people.
Yeah, but
They
see
do, but I think
what you just said. Go ahead, Colin. You go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think we're caught up in a society where, you see on the news Afro-American, blah 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 blah. I think a lot of it because there's two things going on there. They're trying to push the point home and create that separation, that segregation.
Yeah.
Plus, a lot of it is to back up what Ed was saying there about an adjective. They're just trying to say more words to fill that space out. Like, this is the topic. This is how we're going to talk about it. So let's go into fine detail. African American. He was 6'2". He was in his 30s. Blah blah blah. And you never hear African American. This gentleman did this, and a lot of people were really happy about it. He saved a lot of people's lives. He did this, and this woman had a great life after he did this particular thing for her. It's society, isn't it? And the way that they try to divide and conquer, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Right.
No. Listen. Okay, Colin, I want you guys to do yourselves a favor, and I appreciate your sentiment. We all want to be considerate, and we use the term "in my opinion" and things of that nature. Listen, speak your piece. You are who you are, and listen. It is your world. It's your reality. It's your creation. You can be what you want to be. When we go out and we say things like, "Oh, you know what? I don't want to hurt your feelings." No. Like my dad says, son, no one can ever offend you. You can take offense.
That's right. No one ever gives you offense.
Yeah,
exactly. I learned that so young.
Yeah,
you can't. My mom used to tell me all the time. Now, we named you.
Said that,
my first name is Keith. My middle name is Edward, so I use that. But my mom always said, "Hey, if someone calls you different than we called you, just remember your name. So you never have to get upset if someone calls you out of your name." And my mom used to tell me this: "You know your name. You know your name. That's not the name I gave you. So don't claim it."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So as a young child, I learned that.
Name and claim it. Yeah. Disclaim it. Yeah. Remember your name and disclaim it. 100%. I mean,
exactly.
You're absolutely right what you say there. I think a lot of the times, though, just quickly, a lot of the times I think we say these things as a matter of course on automatic pilots. I mean, it's okay me saying, Edward, I don't like your hat, in my opinion. Yeah. Well, it's a bit silly, really, saying my opinion.
It is silly.
I might as well say, in John's opinion.
Edward,
of course, it's my opinion. I'm the one
kidding me?
It.
Yeah,
that's my hat brother. That's my hat brother. You better leave my hat brother alone.
I love the hat. That was an observation. That wasn't an attack. It's not an attack of the hat people. The hat people.
I got my shit
hat
thinking cap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think the biggest thing for us, and that's why I love talking to you guys when we have conversation. I just want to have the best possible experience in life.
Yeah.
Without people always trying to push back or try to do something. Just be you. You know what? And I've learned something. Clarity over agreement. As long as we clear on each other's premise, doesn't mean you have to agree with you about everything. It's okay.
Yeah.
We said that earlier on. We had this conversation as I'm making a cup of tea in the kitchen and I was talking to John. I say, I don't push my opinion on anybody, my religious beliefs. I accept anybody. We literally had this conversation, didn't we, John? An hour ago or something.
This conversation.
And I said, I don't expect you to literally, I don't expect you to take my religious concepts on board. The same as, I can respect the fact that you've got different beliefs to me. The same as yourself, Edward. We're all entitled to our own beliefs, and we do the best we can with what's going on between our ears, as they say. So, live and let live. I think that's the key. I think it was the Wiccans, they said it best. The Wiccan creed says, "And it harm none, do as you will."
Yes.
In other words, if it doesn't hurt anybody, go ahead.
Yeah.
But,
No, well, Colin and John, I think what it is this. And I ask people this question all the time. My professor in college, I mean, there were 65 people in the classroom, but when he made this statement, he was only speaking to me. He says, the answer is in the question. The answer is in the question. He who asks the question will get the answer.
Yeah.
What I ask people to do just in life, just ask the question. Why do you believe this? Or how do you come to that conclusion? Then they can give you their understanding versus
is it
someone's
basic?
telling you, well, you know what? Hey, I don't agree with you. I don't agree with that. I don't care. No, but you never asked the question.
Right.
Ask the question. Like
let's be fair.
Some people ask me one time in the barbershop, well, how did you become conservative? How did you become Republican? I said, well, when I was 16 and a half years old, I was with my guidance counselor, and my guidance counselor says, you got 6 months and you're going to be able to vote. And I said, okay, what do you do? He says, read the 2 different platforms and understand as much as you can, and then you will decide on which side of the aisle you're going to land. Now, no one urged me. Yes, I read the information. And you know what? The information I read, I lean more because I was 16 and a half years old. I was taught very young that my dad says, even if you don't get good grades, even if you don't graduate college, whatever, he says, I want you to be a father and first a husband and then a father. So I already knew that my basic core values were conservative. Okay. I grew up knowing, I mean, I kissed my first girl at 23. How conservative can you be? You know, I mean, that's conservative. I was a virgin when I got married.
Yeah, I think it's probably best that I don't participate in that particular stretch of the conversation. I did not lead a good example in life, folks. Don't follow my example on this one.
No, John, listen. Again, the question is, you came to conclusions based on the information you had at hand.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't make any judgment on what people did. This is the structure that I came up in. So I tell people all the time, I listened to the instruction that I got and I just followed it. And you know what? For me at 57 years old, I've done okay and I'm good.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. That's it, buddy. That's all you got to say.
You know, and I tell people, don't get all upset. Say again.
No.
Say again,
I was going to say, in my misspent youth, it was a different culture. As I say, growing up, like late teens sort of thing, the common phrase was, I don't know whether I dare say it on the broadcast, went along with whip it in, whip it out, wipe it, and walk away whistling. That was the culture at the time. You know, as you get older, you know, you learn, you take on board, and you privy to new information, new perspectives, and it can change your whole outlook. Exactly. But you were lucky, Edward. You had a great guy as a father. He instilled some great values in you from a very early age. And I think there are not enough people helping their children to basically have some great values in there that's going to stand them in good stead for the rest of their life.
That's right. Yep. And see, when I was growing up, I didn't have a good dad figure. I didn't even have a positive male figure in my life at all. So I had to pick up all of my positive male traits along the way.
Understand?
So,
listen,
vastly different beginnings.
Yes. But see, isn't it interesting?
That makes sense.
Isn't it interesting?
Now it's clear.
Isn't it interesting that you said it's clear, Colin? You guys are funny.
Love you too, Colin. Jeez.
Mystery solved. Mystery solved.
Mystery solved. Yeah, we didn't even have to get the kids, their dog, nothing.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, but Colin and John, I just appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity just to share with you a different perspective of another person's journey. You know, that's all. Just a different person's journey. And you know, my dad only went to 6th grade. You know, I'm the 15th of 17 children.
Yeah.
Okay. my
TV.
parents was married. My parents was married 58 years. 58 years. When you see a man, I don't care what you learn in life. When you see a man stay with his wife for 58 years, I'm 57.
That's commitment.
I'm
Yeah,
57.
that's commitment. Yeah.
My parents were married longer than I've been alive.
Yeah,
You
that's
guys,
commitment.
I don't care what anybody say. That alone is a person keeping their word.
Yeah,
And I just said to my dad before he passed away, I said, I am so grateful that I had a father that kept his word to the woman that he married.
Yeah.
And for me, I am forever
It was in his
grateful.
vision.
Huh?
It was in
Say it
his
again?
vision, Edward.
Yes, it was in his vision.
It was in his vision. He stuck to his vision. Yeah.
Yep. But he honored it. And you know, Colin and John, I think that's the area, if you walk through your life, look at the areas of your life where your vision has been honored and then focus on those areas. And say, okay, I can build on these because these are the areas I made it. I got good here.
Yep.
And this is what I try to help young people do when I talk to them all the time. I say, listen, man, if you want to be successful, especially in America, there's only 4 things you have to do. 4. Finish high school. Really simple. Just finish high school. Okay?
Yeah, that's
Get
fair.
that done. Do not get a felony on your record. Don't be juvenile delinquent to the point where you end up getting a felony on your record.
Right.
Okay? Then I say, get married and then have babies after you get married. If you do those 4 things, you don't even have to go to college. You will avoid poverty in the United States of America.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. I mean, you could have coached him. You could have given him some coaching and said, look, have you considered? Because you're such a wise man, you've got a lot of timeless truths there to share.
Yeah, but you know, today, you know, like my wife always says, young people, like our children. I told our children, because they used to come home all the time and said, I have a problem. And I used to always ask them, what supermarket did you buy that problem from? They don't sell problems.
Yeah.
That's a dad joke right there. That's a dad joke.
Yeah.
You know, that's not a dad joke. That's a dad truth.
Yeah.
Because I always ask them.
Put it on the table.
There's only 2 ways. Yes. Only 2 ways that you get problems in your life. Only 2.
Yeah.
You did something you were not supposed to be doing. Or more importantly, you did not follow the guidelines you had for your life. You did something that you knew not do, but you did it anyway. And I tell my children, and I don't care who we are, right now they tell us there's 7 continents. Everybody live on the planet Earth have this in common. We all have a right to make a choice. But one thing none of us could do is choose the consequence of the choice that we make. Right. None of us. Right. But my question to my children and everybody else, can you live with the consequence of the choice you made?
Yeah.
Can you live with it?
The majority of the decisions we make, though, are consequence based, aren't they? You know, they're designed to keep us safe, to keep us comfortable, and designed to move us away from discomfort. So, I mean, for the most part, we spend our lives living according to possible consequences and weighing up the pros and the cons there. But I do agree entirely what you're saying. Entirely. You know, we've got the ability to choose. I mean, whenever somebody says something to us, that suggestion, is what I call the arc. You know, the arc of suggestion. You've got the 3 options when it comes to a suggestion. You got the ability to accept that suggestion. You got the ability to reject that suggestion, or you've got the ability to create a new idea. So that's the arc of suggestion.
Awesome.
Bless
you,
you,
Colin. Now, you just added something to my choices. I tell them I suggest you don't do. I suggest you don't do that.
Well, I thought since I'd stolen the whole snowflake and the fingerprint thing, I thought I'd better just throw
You
something
didn't steal it.
in return.
No,
No
you didn't
exchange,
steal
no
it.
robbery.
No, you didn't steal it, Colin. Colin, I've just learned over life and time. You know, when like I tell my children, you know, when you've lived a couple days and you see what people have gone through. Now, I've been in some places, guys. After 32 years of being in the funeral cemetery profession, I have seen and heard some stuff that most people in life will never come in contact with. Never.
Yeah.
And I know that end of life matters. I know they matter.
Mhm.
I say end of life matters because end of life matter. I ask people this question.
Yeah.
Will you make choices with the end of life in mind?
I think
So every
I
choice
do in the context that, you know what, I'm gonna try to get this done before I'm out of time.
Yes.
I'm gonna try to get this
That's
book
good.
written before I'm out of time.
John, that's good. But my
Yeah.
that's a real question for me. And I do this every day of my life. Am I making the decision with
Right.
the end in mind? Is because you know why? When you do that, there's a
Ooh.
scripture in the book of Ecclesiastes. It says it's better to visit the house of mourning than to go to a party.
Yeah, it gives you perspective.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
And I've saw way too many young people, way too many adults, 22 young men
Mhm.
and women take their life every day in the military. 22
Yep.
suicides a day.
Yep.
And you know what we're sitting around talking about right now? We're talking about people in the color of their skin, and that white people this and black people this, and now there's Asian. Come on, guys. There's so much more things going on in life.
There's so much more important things because
Yes.
like
Yes.
okay, let's just put it out there. My skin color is a different shade than Colin's skin color. My skin color is a different shade than Edward's skin color. But what the hell does that make any difference at all?
Nothing.
Not like what difference has that ever made? Ever?
Well,
It's
you know what I say to
observation,
you, John?
isn't it, to be fair?
You know what I say, John?
Huh?
When I was younger, I used to say, it's so great when I go to the beach because everybody trying to be like me.
there it is, man. And then when I leave the beach, I'm looking like a tomato.
So for me,
Oh,
I invest in copper tone, so it's good.
There you go. There you go.
I like that.
Oh my
I like
gosh.
that.
Well, folks,
I think
we're at the hour and a half mark, so we probably should go ahead and get this thing wrapped up.
Okay.
No, we couldn't have been on that long. You guys, we had too much fun.
We did.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Wow,
But,
John and Colin, you guys, just being in your presence and talking to you guys, so much good information, and thanks for sharing this space and this time with us.
Oh yeah, I appreciate everybody that showed up. It's even the Facebook folks that couldn't come and join us, unfortunately. Man, we'll get you set up. Putting up me and Colin. I mean, Edward can come if he wishes. We've got a broadcast scheduled for tomorrow. Scheduled for 4:00 my time tomorrow, which is what is it? Central without the daylight savings, basically.
11 p.m. my time. Yep. Pretty much.
Yeah. So
pretty much.
We've got a broadcast scheduled for tomorrow.
You're in the Central
it's
time?
a really good
4
one.
o'clock?
4:00 my time, and it's
2 o'clock
currently
California time.
7:06 p.m. my time. Currently.
Yeah, so it'd be 2 o'clock. No, it'd be 2 o'clock California time.
Yes. Yep. 2 o'clock California time. Which would be 6 o'clock, I think, Eastern Standard Time. I think. But the broadcast tomorrow.
So many times.
The broadcast tomorrow is all about being a happy person versus having a feeling of being happy in a moment and feeling happy, the difference between being a happy person and feeling happy at a moment, right? Like that's kind of the gist of tomorrow's broadcast. So I encourage you to stop by. As always, we're going to get off the rails. We're going to go off track. We're going to find our way again. It's going to be a journey, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun.
So John and Colin, if you guys ever want to read a good book, which I do have,
Okay.
it's by Dennis Prager. It's called. Look what it says. What did it say?
Happiness is a serious problem. There you go.
Yes,
So you don't realize
it is.
there's a whole lot of people who do not even realize that happiness is a choice.
It is. And that's tomorrow's broadcast,
It
folks.
is.
Tomorrow's entire broadcast,
It is
the
a serious
whole
problem.
thing is about choosing happiness.
So Colin,
Right.
you see,
So
I
why
do
not
read a little
why
bit.
not use that as a title? You read a lot, Edward. You've read for so many years. It's so obvious. You've taken it all on board, and you've put all these pieces of the puzzle together, and then out of that comes Edward Lynn. Out of that comes
Yes.
Edward Lynn,
Thank you.
and it works. It works 100%, and it's a pleasure to
Thank you.
listen to you talk.
Yeah, well, it's a pleasure listening to you talk, Colin. I
Right.
pick up so many tips, and sometimes when I come and listen to your different recordings, that you're playing, I pick up some great tips. I love those different take, those man, just some like Earl Nightingale and all the other ones, man. There's some great philosophy, man. Some good stuff. I tell you, this is where people miss out on good knowledge, man.
Yeah, it really is. I believe so.
Yep. So
Right, I'm going to
Colin
bid
a
you all a
follow.
good night.
Yep. Give
Yes.
Colin a follow, folks. He plays these recordings that Edward just mentioned. Give this guy a follow. Like you're gonna learn some cool stuff. You could just put it down and listen to it like a podcast while you're cleaning the house or something. And always you got to give Edward a follow because I mean this guy he throws some pearls on the ground that are worth picking up. And if you feel like
he's
it
the
after all that, give me a follow too.
Follow John.
Edward
I
is the
like
pearl
when
caster.
Yeah, thank you, Colin.
Edward is the pearl caster of hats. Bless you.
So Colin, like I say to people, never let compliments go to your head nor criticism go to your heart.
There you go.
No.
There you
But
go.
always accept them. Otherwise, you're negating the person's opinion. But yes,
Yeah,
please
you've
feel free to
negated
accept
that
that as a
person's
compliment.
gift.
Right, guys.
So, okay, so
Yes,
I'm going to go
that's
ahead and
what I'm
close
looking
this
for.
up. Everybody, I wish you have a wonderful week coming up. Hopefully it's even better than the awesome week maybe you just had. So we'll see you next Friday with another Unpack the Week. And you know what? If you want next week, come on up and talk with us. Tell us about your week.
Before we
Yeah.
Before we leave, John, can we get Edward to give them some words of wisdom
Yeah.
as a passing gift? Edward, the floor's yours.
Okay. Well, you guys know when you unpack your week is very important. The word presentation, the beginning of the word presentation is present.
Mm-hmm.
Present.
Yep.
It could be a noun or it could be an adjective. I want you first to think of it as you being present in every conversation. But more importantly, remember yourself as a present. And whenever you come out next week, just unwrap your gift. So
There you
everybody know who you really are.
There you go.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep. So have a good week, everybody. We'll see you next week, and then stop by tomorrow for the podcast. You'll enjoy it. Have a good night,
Take care.
everybody.
Have a good night, and don't drop your electric razor in the toilet.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Please don't do that.